Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, welcome back to my channel. I'm still in Johannesburg, it's so lovely. And right now I'm going to make my way to the Red Bus to do Pretoria, Nelson Mandela's house and the Apartheid Museum. I'm really looking forward to it. I've been having such a great time. I've been waking up in the morning, you know, breakfast as usual, and training, steam room, sauna, coming back, having a really good day, training in the evening, kind of more cardio based training, loving every single moment of it. So let's go and Red Bus it. Let's go. So I stay in this neighborhood. The gym that I go to is just there. Move. Can you see? It says move on that sign. So yeah, I stay down here. It's a very, very nice area. And I go to the gym there. Let's go back to me. I've just purchased my bus ticket. I'm going to Soweto, I'm going to Nelson Mandela's house, and I'm going to the Apartheid Museum. I should have bought a 2-day ticket actually. It doesn't matter. So it's like, I think this is the last bus. Anyway, I've got my ticket, I purchased my ticket. And I'm looking forward to it. I love the red, since the Cape Town Red Bus, I'm going to do red buses in every city I go to, pretty much. So yeah, I hope you're going to enjoy what I'm going to show you. This is a nice neighborhood. The guy is just this guy. This guy who's just had to pay. Didn't pay downstairs. He said, like, get on the bus, and he'll come up to us, or come up to everybody, and everyone has to pay. So yeah, it's really nice. The weather's really, really nice, and I hope it stays like this until I go around. I've got my headphones to listen to where, when you get to the different destinations, it tells you about the areas. So yeah, enjoy. So I was just back there. That's where the Apartheid Museum is. But I didn't go there. I didn't get off to go there. But I think I'm transferring on to this bus, and it's going to take me to Soweto and Nelson Mandela's house. That's where I really want to go to. And then I'll probably come back. I'll definitely come back. I think tomorrow, he said, because of the time, and do the Apartheid Museum. So yeah, this is cool.
We relate to it as football more than soccer.
Sure.
So 2010 South Africa hosting the World Cup. This would be the first stadium to host the World Cup tournament in the whole continent of Africa.
Sure.
So when the opening games and the opening ceremony was hosted, it will be by the same stadium.
Sure.
Event, right? So you're looking at it right coming from the left. Soccer City, FNB, Calabash, because it's made from, it's more of a clay pot or clay bowl. We call it Ukamba in Zulu. Interesting. Ukamba. So when the final games were hosted, we were also in the very same stadium. Yeah, so I don't know. I see your video. Or you're taking selfies or pictures?
Video.
Oh, okay. So when you're talking about this one, 94,000 people can sit in that stadium.
Do they still use it?
Yesterday, there's a team that lost.
Okay.
In the same stadium.
Sure.
They are losers, those ones.
Sure.
When we talk about it, it's a multi-purpose stadium. It's a national stadium in South Africa, given the amount of big magnitude events hosted. A couple of often every single year.
Yes.
So they host like Memorial Service of Mandela, for example, 2013. Earlier this year, we hosted the Maroon 5, Shakaina, William Linley. So that's why we say it's a multi-purpose stadium, not only for football. South of Joburg, Nazareth, in the backdrop, the city skyline of Joburg, of course.
Yes.
As beautiful as it is, Manhattan skyscrapers.
Yes.
That's the central part of Joburg, where you see some of the buildings within the CBD. So the CBD is the old city center of Johannesburg. The new CBD is now Sandton City. So which is the future? Sandton is alive, Johannesburg is the old, so which is the future?
Sure.
That's how we always say it.
Soweto is the future.
We good?
Yes.
Hassan Bay. Now I don't know what lies behind the mountain. Let's go find out. The other side of the mountain, I don't know what there is. Let's go find out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 kilometers to go.
Sure. Yeah.
About 4 kilometers to go. If you were to go backwards this way, 10, okay, maybe 10 kilometers going that way. I don't know. Linda can tell me. So meaning that 30. So meaning that Soweto is that far away. That's why we call them townships.
Wow.
Yeah.
They said it was going to rain.
Here we are.
Perfect.
All right. So I just want you to look on your. Sorry. Which side are we now? I'm right and left-handed. Sorry. So on your left. So there will be the upper class. So what you're looking at right now. Upper class. That means a black middle class and black upper class. They live in this kind of suburb where they have their own land, their own property, lavish mansion housing, double-story housing, and all that. But of course, Soweto, in its earlier beginnings, people in the townships were not allowed to own land and property. They were not, simply because the government felt a black man coming to the city is a migrant worker to work for the white. That was during even pre-apartheid times.
Sure.
Right? So when apartheid came into 1940s, then that's when racial segregation was made permanently law. Legislation saying people should not live together. Black is black, white is white. And within the areas of Johannesburg, identified spaces where they would build townships or dormitory, kind of like. Some people said it was more of a form of a concentration camp in European standards. So people were not allowed land and property ownership as black men and women. although they were more civil, that means they had their own businesses, they could even afford buying property in the white city center. But by 1978, that's when the neighborhood came about. On your left hand side, my left, the Deep Cliff area. Fighting for land and property was one of the big things in the townships during apartheid. Government finally had the call and the cries of the people in Soweto, allowing them to buy land and getting loans and build those beautiful houses. He and I, coming and growing up and living in Soweto, we grew up in this kind of houses on your right. Although majority of them do no longer belong to Johannesburg City Council or the Western Administration Board, they are now family homes. They were transferred in our current parents' ownership about 1996 when Mr. Mandela became president. He decided to subsidize those who have been renting houses in Soweto, like from 1950s and so on, to buy out the housing. Majority of them are similar in shape, size, design and structure, and they are very ugly. They are ugly and monotonous to look at because they are always the same. Then in the old days, you wouldn't have electricity in this housing, no running water in this housing, and the lease of such houses would be 99 years, meaning that you'd own the land or the property after 99 years, after renting, of course. Roofing is asbestos. Unfortunately, my grandparents victim of asbestos because he passed away in 1999. Why? He lived in a house with asbestos roofing. It's a harmful chemical. Number two, he also lived in this kind of conditional accommodation back in the day as a minor, as a migrant worker before he got married. In the old day, this area was meant for male people alone. That shows you how much the migrant labor system was controlled by those who had power. Keep them far away from women, their children, their families. Keep them here so they can be closer to work, so that they can keep more production going. We do not need to have shortage of labor. We give them accommodation, we give them cheap meals, we do not give them a lot of decent salary. So the living conditions are appalling back in the day, still the case today. So the hostel and informal area, it is what in general senses of income level, low living standards, low living conditions, whereas this will be your working class Soweto, the old houses on my right, your left, but also developing into middle because people pockets are getting bigger.
Yeah.
So in a Soweto, we have a slang. We say when you are a cheese boy, you come from a rich family. So the nice houses belong to the cheese boys and cheese girls. We call them the black diamonds. But when you also have a deep pocket in Soweto, it means you're already wealthy. So that's why that's what happens in the township. You see how wealthy somebody is depending on the size of the pocket. Generally, people don't get to tell you if they're wealthy or not, but their house often reflects regarding class. Hospital right now, Soweto has, South Africa has. It's called Chris Hani Baragwana Academic Hospital. 3,530 units. That's how big and huge it is. To 5,000. In Africa, it's the biggest hospital.
In Africa?
Yeah, oh yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Used to be the biggest in the world at one stage.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So the main entrance, where you through this gate entrance, there's a pedestrian walk bridge overhead us, connecting the hospital to the busiest taxi rank in Joburg on my right, your right. Baragwana taxi rank. So talking about the hospital, people from different parts of Johannesburg and Soweto come through here day in and day out for medical appointments or emergencies or checkup, whatsoever. They get through transferred here because of good medical, say, doctors from Vets University, Harvard, Cuba, India, China, nursing. They also have colleges, 3 years diploma, you qualify as a nurse. So you have a lot of good medical facilities, although public hospital, meaning it's open to everyone. Anybody can use it. You do pay, subject to an income level. If you're not working, you don't pay. If you're a pensioner, you don't pay. It's non-South African, they have to pay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This little rain it has done,
Yeah.
the water. It's already flooding. Drainage system. Why? Because Soweto was never meant to be a permanent living area. So immediately you have a natural disaster crisis, this is going to happen. That's one of the challenges living in a township. And when talking about Orlando, by the way, we are here. On my left, the two towers, iconic towers.
Yeah.
Though they have changed color-wise, I think they are rebranding them or re-advertisement. The new companies coming in. Yeah. what you also have seen would be this little rain would be what we call a high belt thunderstorm. A high belt storm.
Sure.
That means it comes and rains strongly, but not for a longer period of time.
Sure.
Now you're looking at it, it stopped raining. It will clear up again. So we're talking about the two towers.
Yeah.
Adventure side, like your bungee jumping, 100 meters in the middle. But before it was all nice adventure jumping. Skisi nana, hey humans, yes. Behind the steel concrete structure, the concrete structure, that was a thermal power utility. Talking about that again of what we spoke, it did not benefit the black people here. So the pollution was just
Yes.
here. Power, city center, they clean, they get energy, they're good. Health-wise, we are the ones affected. That's why Mandela shut it down 98. But then 2008, the two towers are used for outdoor adventure space, like your bungee jumping,
Yes.
free fall, barbecue area below the two. You can hire a go-kart bike. You can do a whole lot of fun activities, particularly weekends and festive seasons, or weekends in general.
Yes.
That you see.
Yeah.
The other side of it will be the older neighborhood called Cape Town. The first place Soweto was laid out about 1904. It is unfortunate that we cannot see with our naked eyes, but let me bring you closer to Cape Town. When you look at the houses like this ones, you look at Cape Town. Slums. From Jamaica, I know you know slums are quite part of it too. So informal settlement, squatter camps, the water pollute once again. So when it's raining, imagine what happened to those people living in such kind of conditions. Yeah, it becomes really bad.
Yeah.
When it's going to be cold, it's going to be really cold.
Yeah.
When it's hot, it's hot. So a slum is an indication of the inequality level South Africa is known for in the world. Highest inequality level is South Africa. I always say when you get to a township, the scars of apartheid are there to see. The wounds are healing, but the scars are still there to receive. So that is an example of that.
Because of our skin color.
How in it kangakali
Yabona.
highlight chokuthi thina sifika vele iphele
Ngemva kwendawo.
yo ngisho ukuthi angeke uthiwa imvula enethile sinethe 2 minutes sokuso sothi kudala la enetha la. I'm telling him that here, which means it has been raining heavily here than where we were, because looking at the water floods, it shows that it's really rained heavily. So amkelekile jabulile sawamkela mhlobo wami kodwa abantu batsho kanjalo wabo ngamaXhosa. Wamkelekile mhlobo wami mhone isihlobo so namazulu vele bakhona batsho kanjalo abathi umhlobo wami. Man's name. Orlando is one of Part and Soweto heartbeat. I like it because it's a place I call home. Old, rusty, congested, but the streets are filled with laughter and very colorful. Energetic, let's not forget that. Community, well, we have the name or word community, but we do no longer have that strong sense of it. But when needs be, the people can still come together. Meaning funerals, any other events that needs your help from another person, they will always show up. We have become more urbanized, urban black. We have adopted the foreign languages and culture and their principles and morals, but at the end of the day, we still remember that people are people, we are the people. That's how we live in a township. And talking about it, you find it's a melting pot of different culture. We speak different languages. That is Soweto for you. So this area is mostly regarded as a heartbeat of Soweto. Reason being, the first formal township to have a house, to have a high school, to have a police station, to have a train station, to
Nice.
have anything you can think of back in the old day. It always started in the same neighborhood we are looking at. Hence I say it's the heartbeat of Soweto. Soweto wouldn't be where it is had it not been of Orlando. Orlando is a name of an Englishman. He was a chairman of what we call the Bantu African Affairs. So he made sure that townships have housing by the 1920s and 30s. That's why they were built until here. Speaking of the first police station, it's on your left. Behind the concrete grey wall, that's the first police station. Public transport infrastructure on your right. It's a BRT bus station. We took this idea from Netherlands before the World Cup 2009. First post office is on your left, but the first public community library is on your right in the corner. There's a first community clinic down the road. This road has so many first. As we say, it has a number of heritage sites. Mooki Street is where we are. We are inheriting the new generation, current generation, inheriting houses from their grandparents. On your right, these are some of the houses. One yard is home to 3 to 4 different families, renting other rooms besides the main house. That's why we live here. Urban townships in South Africa.
It looks like Tanzania.
Yeah. Urban townships is home to 60% of black population in the township. Live in the urban area. 60% of black people live within townships in the urban area.
Wow.
60%. Not only Soweto, every township across the country. But at the same time, it is also home to 30% unemployment rate. Within all those urban townships, 30% people are not working. So you are going to see a lot of energy on the streets, hustle and bustle. That's how we survive in the township. Football stadium on your right. I do not like this football team with a passion.
I'm not into football.
Not lucky for you.
Yeah.
Orlando Pirates is the name of my team.
Okay.
The name of my enemy is my best friend. So,
Okay.
Pirates is not my friend at all.
Okay.
Coming from Orlando, but I've never traded my loyalty to Kaizer Chiefs more than anything else. So the stadium is the oldest and the biggest in Soweto. For us, football is not just a sport; it's a lifestyle. It's a culture. So why families make a living through soccer games, selling food, drink. Soweto, Orlando via Orlando. The map of Soweto started just like this. There's a black bear, James Panther. He's the man who fought for the black rights in the township. 1940, around 20,000 people. In 1944, he rode on a horse from Orlando East to Orlando West to take municipal land, and they had to take the land illegally to build their houses. That's how informal settlement started in the townships, or land craving began. So we have seen the landscape of the two famous townships, or we have seen one, Orlando East. Let's check out Orlando West. And I hope ukhona lo mfana lo Hector. Ubalekile. Soweto Uprising 76, 1976 Soweto Students Uprising, where over 176 students died during the uprising, and over hundreds and hundreds of them were injured. We talk about movies like Sarafina, I'm sure you know the movie, so we have 15 minutes right here. His name is Paul to take over. The guy in the red and the red hair cap on. He's going to give you the story of the memorial site for 5 minutes, so that in case you need some coffee, or maybe you want to go around for pictures, the market, we can give you that. Can I command in there right now? No. So this picture.
Yes.
It's the first time. Alright. This picture was taken on the 16th of June 1976. by Mr. Sam Zima. He's the one who took this picture. This picture made him to be taken to Mpumalanga, house arrested for 18 months because of taking this picture. And when his sentence was due, he was never told, up until he passed away. Mr. Sam Zima, as he took this picture was viral the following day. That is why they took him to Mpumalanga, house arrested him for 18 months. This picture is very iconic here in Soweto. We really respect it because of without the picture, I wouldn't be standing in front of you here and about to tell you what was happening around this area. So, the boy you see on the picture over there, Hector Peterson with the missing shoe. Hector Peterson was just a 12-year-old boy standing at the corner waiting for the sister. Based on that day, it was chaotic. Hector didn't know what was happening around this area. Mbuisa Makubo tried to help him. That is the guy who's carrying him. That is Mbuisa Makubo. He tried to help him, but that got him into trouble. He went to Botswana in 1976. 1978, he was now in Nigeria. Wrote a letter to the mother to say, "Mom, don't worry, I'm safe. I got a scholarship." After that was the last of him. No one knows where he is. We don't know whether he's still alive or not. Because the mother passed away in 2004 without even knowing the whereabouts of his son. But the mother left a message behind, as you will be reading it not so long. And the father of the Hastings Lovu, the first victim who got shot, left a message also. Our late former president, he's the one who unveiled this memorial stone as it was erected by the ANC Youth League in 1992, 16 June. Each and every 16th June of the year, we celebrate all our heroes and heroines who laid down their lives in the struggle just to fight for freedom, peace and democracy. So, what you see inside of this water, and that's one, that will be the only weapon that we're using the students just to fight back the police, because they were still young and they were not allowed to carry guns or any weapon for that matter. Because the students, they were boycotting up against the Afrikaans language as a medium of instruction. Because of the Afrikaans language was never a problem, but the system they were using behind it was a problem. Because of
we don't leave people behind in Soweto. For example, if you wanted to say, I wanted to spend more time here, do walk around, museum, eat, discover it all, we allow you to do that because it's a hop on. But with the last tour, however, we can't leave because there isn't any bus coming in as the last tour. So I don't know if you are going back with us or you're planning going back with us, go to the casino, hop on the bus, Roseband, or you will basically stay in Soweto, I don't know. But we have 10 minutes. He's gonna also narrate the Mandela story outside his home, of course. And then if you need anything, maybe either your water or anything, he's the one to take care of that. Is that okay? So this is actually the street where we are entering. It starts way up the road, though you might not see the beginning of it because it's just a further stretches up the road. Sure. So around here, unfortunately, Hector was gunned down by the spot where you see this tree standing. I don't know if he spoke about the olive tree. So some people say it might be here, but I always say I don't think it might be here, and so many people believe that because there was a lot of chaos that day. You can't really remember who was shot where and so, but the tree it serves as a reminder. Down the road, Dudu's house, Mandela house. So we're talking about it as the most touristic space in Soweto. I always say it's an economic hub of Soweto. Why? Businesses often set up here. Restaurants, bars, cafes, market, whatever you think. Though it's not busy, it is weak, it's understandable. But come weekend, you find it a buzz with a lot of activities. So Paul will take over from me, myself, and I once again for those 10 minutes. Even if he does 5 minutes, I understand it's cold outside. So, and then you hop on, we continue on the tour. Baba? I don't know if you have any questions you want to ask. Are we good? The ice cream man, selling ice cream at this time of the day. Jesus Christ. Talk about the wrong time to sell ice cream. But now I think banga sabu kodon. That's meaning I sabu kodon. Amakazi. Yes, amakazi never ungena iza. No. Right, Mandela House, here you go. On your left. The window leg is seven. Okay.
And see your son. 1946.
Yes, it was built 1945. Mr. Mandela started to live in this house 1946 with the first wife, which was Evelyn Mase, a cousin of Walter Sisulu. They had four children living in this house, 2 boys, 2 girls. 3 passed away and 1 left behind, which is her name is Makaziwe, also meaning let her be known. She's still alive. Evelyn Mase, Christian, a Bonacade. She used to work at Joburg General Hospital. She was a nurse. Mr. Mandela, a politician. Mr. Mandela and Evelyn Mase, it was like water and oil. So Mr. Mandela would have private meetings here in the same space while the family is still around. So Evelyn Mase didn't like that because she was a peaceful person. While they were still living in this house, they ended up divorcing because of Mr. Mandela as a troublemaker. That was his nickname. A pulling of a branch of tree, which is Kholi Hlahla. So they separated. The following year, now Mr. Mandela met Winnie Mandela. Winnie Mandela, they stayed in this house also with Mr. Mandela. They stayed in this house for the longest time. They had 2 daughters in this house, which is Zenani and Zinzi. Unfortunately, Zinzi passed away 2020 due to COVID. Zenani, she's still alive. She's a brand ambassador and she's married to the Prince of Swaziland. She's a princess. Yes. So, Mr. Mandela, all in all, had 6 children. With the first wife, it was 4. The second wife, it 2. But
I think it was on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yesterday.
It was yesterday as well. In a corner.
Yeah. Oh, well. And
It's all.
no, too much.
Yeah, celebrating Winnie Mandela. Yeah. So she stayed in this house from 1989. Unfortunately, she never really gained much popularity for her controversies in the 80s. She was attacked a lot on Vilakazi Street because of the Mandela Football Club controversy by Soweto people and the police apartheid government, making her look like a bad person. So people turned their backs on Winnie Mandela. This is a sad thing. And with the help of businessmen in South Africa, she had to escape Vilakazi house because of the attack, the shooting that was happening on her. So that's how the house was built, by businessmen and some political leaders who donated funds for her to have this home built. Winnie Mandela. When Mandela got out of prison, he knew of this new home, but he denied to move in immediately, citing that it would look like a rich man among the poor men. So he decided to move into the old one you saw with his talk, but only for 11 days after his release from prison. Remember, he last lived on Vilakazi Street with Winnie in the 1960s before he went underground and he was arrested ultimately in 1963. So when he came out, he had to be here 11 days after Vilakazi. By 1992, he separated with Winnie, separating under controversial circumstances. He got a house where you were earlier on in Horton suburbs in 1992, and he's forever been a Horton suburb resident. Winnie stated that I will never leave my people behind. I will never leave Soweto. If they do not have electricity or water, I will have to suffer the same fate as my people.
Hello. It's the next day, and I just wanted to close out this vlog after my day trip yesterday. I arrived. You have to go to. I picked up the red bus at Rosebank Mall, Rosebank Mall. The red bus place is there, and you go around the different places as you saw in the vlog. But then I talked about going to Pretoria. No, you go to Soweto. I wanted to go. Look at me exposing myself. I wanted to go to Soweto, and I had to get off the red bus and go with this Soweto tours. I'll put their link in this vlog. Really nice people. I was the only person on the bus, and I think not on the in the minibus for the Soweto trip. I didn't go to the Apartheid Museum because of the time. I arrived at the red bus around just literally a minute before 1, and the lady was like, "Come on, quick, let's run." And the bus was there, and I had to go and get on the bus, run with her and go and get on the bus. And then I explained that I want to go to Soweto, I want to go to the Apartheid Museum. I want to go to Nelson Mandela's house. I want to do all of those things. But it's the time. It was the time. So although the bus passed by and stopped at the Apartheid Museum, I didn't get off the bus to go there because of time, and I wanted to go to Soweto, and I'm so glad that I did. I'll just go to the Apartheid Museum maybe tomorrow. And you get in this van. It's like a minibus van type thing. It's so, racism is, it's just hatred, isn't it? It's the colour of our skin, and people hate us and treat us the way that they do because of the colour of our skin. It's nothing more. That is a mental health issue. That is a disease within those people. It's a disease. They're sick and mentally ill. And, being in Soweto was just, I don't know, it was a little bit sad in the sense of, why we have to go through such unnecessary treatment. And then, you learn the history of the people that live in that community, the families, Nelson Mandela, Winnie Mandela. You learn so much about them, and it's just, even in some of my pictures that I took, my mind had just drifted into somewhere else, just of sadness and disappointment, and it's just sad. Went to Nelson Mandela's house, but it was closed. By the time I got there, it was which was around maybe 5. It was closed. It was closed. It was around that time, 5-ish, or gone 5. It was closed. I need to kind of leave really early and get on the red bus to get there and do the whole tour. But I go to the gym in the morning. But I want to go to the Apartheid Museum, definitely. So, well worth the experience. If you come to Johannesburg, you must do the red bus. You go around and you go to Constitution Hill. They talk about the gold mines, and Johannesburg is gold. Everyone's sitting on, living on gold. It's a beautiful place. Johannesburg is a beautiful place. The people are nice. The people are polite. It's a place you could easily come and live. So, if you wanted to. So I had a really good time. I'm glad that I came to Johannesburg. I'm glad that I took those tours. Soweto will stay with me. I think it's I've been to Robben Island, and that was interesting. There was an energy there. But when you go to Soweto, I feel that there's just this energy, this thing there. I don't know how to explain it. And they've been through so much, but yet there's still so much of a community. It's just amazing. So I just wanted to close out. Just wanted to come and say I have a wonderful time. I'm still in Johannesburg. I will be jetting over to Cape Town soon. But I'm having a good time. I'm really having a good time. I'm having a good time getting up in the morning, training, eating plant-based foods, different plant-based foods every day, going to a proper supermarket. It's so good. I just like it here. I like South Africa. As I said before, I think I'm more Cape Town than Johannesburg, even though Johannesburg is considered like the hub, the main hub of South Africa. If something starts, it starts right here, this is the leader of South Africa. But I like Cape Town more because I like that it's got the ocean. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, to share, to everything. Still going to meet that goal of getting to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this month. nearly there. Well, kind of nearly there. So yes, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Thank you to everybody that is subscribing, and thank you to the wonderful comments. I do read them. And I'll see you in the next vlog.